Murray, welcome to Down
Thanks
the
so much.
Rabbit Hole Festival. Now you see an empty festival at this moment. So what's your first reaction when you see the festival ground?
It's beautiful. We were just saying it's like probably one of the most beautiful festival grounds we have ever seen. Probably the most beautiful. It's got a lake. As soon as we got here, Louis, our guitarist, he jumped in the lake there, had a little morning swim. I've heard there's some yoga going off somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, Murray. I think you're lying now because you played at Glastonbury.
Yeah, but Glastonbury's like, yeah, that's a beautiful part of the world, but it doesn't look like this.
No.
It doesn't look like this.
But it's life changing. I've heard Noel Gallagher said that in a tweet last week that it is life changing.
Yeah.
Can you describe Glastonbury for two people, for Jesper and me, who weren't there? Never
Have you guys been there before?
Never.
Oh,
Never.
you should definitely try and go at some point. It's I think it's just the scale of it which makes it so interesting. It's massive. It really is huge. There's something for everyone. It's not just music. There's a lot of people giving talks, and there's lots of like arts and crafts, poetry and theatre and all that kind of thing. So there really is something for everyone, and like all demographics, ages, and it's just great. And because of that, you get such a varied audience. You don't know who you're going to be playing to.
Exactly, because every festival got its own audience almost.
Yeah, sure.
Here you see people from, I think, 20, 30 years old.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Quite hip.
Yeah.
But Glastonbury is a mixed bag.
Totally. I mean, it's the only festival we've ever played where my parents have wanted to come.
Oh,
and they're
really?
like 60 and don't get out much, but they were like dead set on coming. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's like a safe environment to invite your parents or your children or like whoever you've got in your life. Like they'll enjoy Glastonbury.
What was the review of your show from your parents?
Yeah.
Did they see your show?
Yeah, they did. They saw one of the shows. They got lost and couldn't make it to the second show because we did a secret show as well for Greenpeace. But Glastonbury's so massive that unless you know exactly where you're going, it's very easy to get lost, bless them. But no, they loved it. They haven't seen many of the Easy Life shows, so yeah, they loved it. They thought it was hilarious. They obviously thought it was hilarious. They couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Why is it hilarious?
I don't know. I feel like obviously they know me, so when I have to like do my persona on stage, I think they probably just think it's
Bit silly?
yeah, completely ridiculous,
So what's the difference between you here now, Murray here at the microphone, and Murray on stage?
I'm a lot less nervous now, and I'm sober now.
You're never
And-
sober on stage?
Tried it a few times, but it's like kind of. I'm curious to see if other artists do the same thing. I think they do. We don't do drugs or anything
But
ridiculous.
a little buzz.
It's just like a few gin and tonics or something. Yeah, otherwise I'd just never be able to get up there. It's terrifying, it truly is, but we enjoy it.
But when you're on stage and you see so many people on the festival ground, that gives you the enormous kick. So when you're done with the show, how does the cooling down?
We have like an amazing crew who are just like really level-headed, and they're all our friends from back home. So it's just
really?
Yeah. As soon as we get off stage, then it's just normality instantly. So it's fine. The cooling down's the easy part. It's the warming up that's the terrifying
Really?
bit. Yeah.
Because I've had many artists with really problems with the cooling down because they're
Right.
still in the vibe, they're hyped up.
Yeah.
And then you want to stay on that level. That's when it becomes dangerous, if you know what I mean.
Sure. I think, no, we don't really suffer from that. I think when we do the big tours, if we've been on tour for a couple months and then when you get home, it definitely takes a couple days to adjust back to just normality and waking up at normal times and, not touring and things. But after a festival set, I think it's just, we're pretty good. We just enjoy the festival and then go home usually.
And when you're lying in bed, do you still hear the audience?
No, I don't.
Because I can imagine that it's
No.
still the vibe.
I wish I did.
Do you
yeah.
dream about shows?
I only ever
Or nightmares?
Yeah,
Who gives a fuck about my nightmares?
yeah,
by the way?
exactly. If we dream about them, it's always bad things happening.
What is happening?
Something goes wrong, like something gets unplugged, or
There's a plug
yeah,
away.
exactly. We're missing a kettle lead or anything like that. Had a weird dream about Raj, our tour manager, actually, and I think I told you about that, didn't I? I don't have that many dreams, coincidentally, but I had this dream where Raj, our tour manager, like put us all to sleep. He had like a hypodermic needle, and he'd like, as and when it was time for us to go to sleep, he'd be like, "Time to go to sleep, Murray." Like, but it was a kindness. It wasn't like a
no.
It was a strange dream.
But still,
yeah, it was a strange dream. I can remember that one as well. I don't, dreams fly out your head, don't they? But
if something goes wrong on stage, that's not how
which it does.
Right.
Every gig.
So okay, how do you improvise? Are you good in improvising?
Well, we just kind of have to. When we did Glastonbury, the opening song we did was our first song called Pockets, and that's like 93 BPM, which is kind of slow, but our playback system broke. And it was like 78 BPM, so it's like, real slow. And we played the whole song at that tempo. We walked out and it was all super slow, and so these things happen all the time. I'm sure today we'll have technical difficulties. It happens, especially at a festival. We got to set up the whole rig in like an hour, and the rig's getting increasingly more ridiculous. So it's like it's bound to happen, but it's also the charm.
Absolutely, that's the adventurous and fun part. Yeah,
it honestly adds to the excitement of the show.
Great, you got to play something for us today.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try.
Okay.
We don't really do stripped back acoustic things, but we are today.
Talking about improvising, right?
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
All right, let's hear it for Skeleton. Sorry, we cut that out.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Easy Life.
Woo! Thanks.